Alrighty guys, and welcome back to another episode of Heroes Hunter. And today we're going to be talking about just some of the updates that were released in the Fire Emblem Heroes channel update, so the Feh Channel update. And honestly, I was completely surprised by what they brought out. They introduced a lot of new things, and it was honestly very exciting for me. I know it's exciting for a lot of people. So we're just going to kind of go through and we're going to talk about some of the different things that they have going on in this update. So the first thing that is going on in this update is the new banner, of course, that they're going to show here in just a second. So these are all units that were pretty high up on the Choose Your Legends update, or on the Choose Your Legends event that we had before the game actually got released. And so this was something that a lot of people were interested in. So pull it up here. So yeah, this right here, the Far-Fetched Heroes, comes with Dorcas, which a lot of people are excited for. Also comes with Lute and Mia, all very popular characters. And this was a surprise to a lot of people because there are units not a lot of people were expecting to come in. All of them are pretty solid units, and the banner just came out today. So I would say get your free summon on this one, but I would honestly hold off on summoning on this banner simply because we do have another summoning event, and we'll get to that in just a moment. We're going to just kind of go through step by step with these. But these are cool characters, and if you guys want me to kind of go over their skills and how they're working with the meta, leave a comment down in the comment section if you'd like me to do that, or leave a like, something like that. But again, they're okay characters. I think they're all really cool. Dorcas is our first unit with distant counter built into an axe, so that's really cool. Mia's also got a speed version of Heavy Blade, and so that's also really nice. And then Lute has a legendary weapon that boosts her speed by 3, and it's all just it's cool, but we are getting a new summoning banner coming out later this month, which you should really be saving your orbs up for. So that's just kind of my take on the new heroes. I like them, but I'm definitely going to wait. These units are also going to stick around, so you're still going to have a chance to summon for these later on. So I wouldn't say too much pressure into summoning for those. So next, as we pull up right here, the next thing that they released was staff boost. So all staffs get a boost in that all of the staffs that are most of the staffs that are available at 5-star are now available as a plus version. So as you can see, Fear went from 5 might all the way up to 12 might. So they're boosting the might of the staves, and they're also increasing their abilities. So now she has basically an attack smoke that affects the target and anyone within 2 spaces of that target through their next actions, which is really cool. And that's something I was very interested in seeing, is that they have this is what I like about Intelligent Systems, is because they've really been listening to their fan base, because a lot of people were complaining about how absolutely useless healers were. And so instead of just downright just ignoring them, kind of scrapping them to the side, they are making an attempt to make them better. Do I think this is going to make them arena worthy? I don't think so. But it's just something it's to look forward to. So if you have a healer that you really like, there are all these new staff skills, and also the assist skills are also getting a buff as well. So if you really like healers and you have a healer that you love working on, this is awesome for you. I don't think it's going to allow them to get into the meta, but they're definitely going to be much better characters now on. They're going to be much more useful in a lot of other situations because they do have these improved abilities. So even Rehabilitate, which is the best assist skill for healers, is also getting a buff at 5 stars for units, which is again really cool. So seeing that, just again trying to increase their overall usability and functionality, which is something I really appreciate, because that was again one of my gripes with the game, is that they had all these healers that were basically useless. And so it's nice to see them try to go back and fix some of these things. And then we also have so we have our AoE skills all getting a reduced cooldown, which is another thing they're affecting. This is really nice because it will make them a little bit more usable, not having such a high cooldown rate. I know 5 to 4 isn't that big of a difference, but it's something. So I'm cool with that. The star skills like Astra, Night Sky, and Glimmer are very interesting. They're mostly really Astra and Night Sky really aren't used. Glimmer is really only used on Blade Tome units when you're already doing an absurd amount of damage. So I think with a 2-turn cooldown, I do think Blade Tomes will probably use this, simply because they'd be able to proc it and it would be able to increase their damage pretty easily. So that's just my personal thoughts on Glimmer and the star skills. Then you also have the sun skills like Daylight, Soul, and Noontime. All of these are very skills, but I don't know if decreasing cooldown is going to make them more useful. But I do like that Intelligent Systems is trying to take things that most people assumed were useless, such as like healers, the AoE skills, the healing, and the star skills. And they're trying to fix them. They're trying to bring it more into the meta and make it more competitive that way. Instead of just continuously power creeping, they're trying to bring up old skills and old characters up a level so that they compete with all these newer units that are coming out with all these broken skills, which is really nice, and it's something I appreciate. So another thing that I'm very excited for is the expanded barracks that they introduced. Now this is absolutely awesome because it gives us an extra 100 slots for our heroes. Now, I personally was very excited about this because I had been holding off, trying not to spend any money to expand my barracks. I was like, no, just wait, like, they'll eventually bring it in, and they did bring it in, which I think is really awesome. Then they also have this, where the main story and paralog maps are capped at 10 stamina. I think this is really great, especially for people who don't have stamina potions. I personally have, I think, just over 100 stamina potions that I like saving up and using for a rainy day. But again, not everybody has those stamina potions, so giving people an ability to not so much go through all of their stamina at once by spending 25 stamina on a single story mission is a little crappy. And since we only have 99 stamina, and they're probably not going to bump it up farther than that, it's nice to see that they're making it more accessible for people to do more and more grinding. Now, for the biggest update, probably in Fire Emblem Heroes history, is the weapon refinery. Now, this, I think, is going to be the biggest game changer. So let's just pull ahead here and take a look. So as you can see, you can upgrade weapons. A lot of the normal weapons that you can upgrade are now, you can get several different kinds of buffs. So as you can see on the screen here, you can do attack buff, and all of these give HP as well. So I don't know if that's going to be for all weapons, or maybe just the silver weapons, but you can increase attack, increase speed, increase defense, increase resistance, all depending on which kind of stat you want to upgrade, which is awesome. So take a look here as I'll play through. So yeah, those are the different stats that you can get on all those weapons. And so yeah, they do have a new currency for these, which is the arena coins and the refining stones. Now, I think this is cool because they said these are available through Arena, which is going to be really nice because it's going to give you something for grinding through Arena, which is something we've really been lacking, because you'll grind through Arena and you'll get your high Arena score, but after that, there's kind of really no need. Once you've gotten your Deathless run in Arena, you don't really have to do it except for maybe the 2 times for your 100 feathers that day. So I'm also sitting on about 160 arena crests. So I do go through and do my runs and everything, but I have 160 arena crests and really no use for them because I get my 3 a day and I'm able to get my deathless run in by using maybe 1 or 2 of them. But you get a constant influx of arena medals. And so, or not arena medals, arena crests that allow you to replenish your swords. And so this is nice that you'll actually get some rewards for grinding through. And I'm totally okay with them having new new currency in the game as long as it's accessible. Because with the sacred coins, they're kind of accessible, but you can't get them always. So I really hope with the arena medals and the refining stones, you can get these through grinding. So yeah, you can get them through quests and everything, but I really hope that you can get these just by pure grinding. Something I really want from this. Another thing is that the new weapons require SP, which I also think is a really good use because I have several units sitting with maxed out SP, already have so many different builds on them, don't really know what to do with all that extra SP, and now we're given a bonus use to SP is through upgrading these weapons. And so again, they're making use out of kind of useless things that they had in the past, such as the the badges. When they had the badges were basically useless because you'd only use about 20 great badges to get it from a 4-star to a 5-star, but you'd get so many from grinding the training tower. So I was sitting on probably about 2,000 apiece before that update came out with the sacred coins, with the sacred seal forge. So it's nice that they're using things like SP that I'm not like once you've built up a character, no one uses SP anymore. So it's nice to see them use SP for upgrading weapons. It's nice to see them using badges for sacred coins. They're making use of the currencies that they already have in the game while also introducing new ones to encourage you to play more things, which makes the grinding a little bit more fun. You're not just grinding for levels, you're grinding for arena medals, you can grind for arena or refining stones, and then you can also grind after you use refining stones. You can use them to get divine dew. So when you upgrade, so this is also another part to the weapon forge, is that when you upgrade normal weapons, you get divine dew for upgrading them. That divine dew can then be used to upgrade legendary weapons, which is again awesome. But the thing with this is that they're not upgrading all legendary weapons. It's only specific ones. So as you can see, Sigmund on Ephraim, you can upgrade it to give him plus 3 HP and that bonus effect. It makes it a little bit more of a diverse legendary weapon. And I like that they're doing this because a lot of the legendary weapons in the past have been kind of relegated to the sidelines simply because they're not as good as the new legendary weapons coming out. So having the old ones being upgradable while the new ones are still set at their base, again, brings older characters into the forefront and can possibly join the meta even. So if we take a look here, the upgradable, the weapons you can upgrade with Divine Dew, with the weapon refinery, is Sulcati, Mistletoe, Siegmund, Hotclair, Fujin-Yumi, and Deathly Dagger. Now, I personally have a Minerva, a Jafar, and a Lin that are all, and even a, what's his name? Can't think of his name. Eldigan, who has Mistletoe. All of them are really kind of lacking, especially compared to all these newer characters. So giving them that kind of boost that they need is really awesome because their legendary weapons have really been outclassed really quickly. Because if you look at Mia's newest weapon grants her 3 attack and acts as a Wu Dao. And so a lot of weapons just can't really, a lot of the older specialty weapons can't compete with that. So it's nice to see that they're willing to upgrade these ones to make them a little bit more useful. I still don't think Fusion Yumi is going to be all that useful. I would like to see what they do with the Deathly Dagger, because Deathly Dagger is one of the more interesting daggers out of all the dagger units. So I'm really excited to see what they do with that. Same with Mistletoe and Hot Claire. I'd like to see what kind of skills that they could possibly throw on there to make them a little bit more useful. So, continuing on, this is by far my favorite thing in the game that they're going to talk about right now, and that is the killing weapons turning into slaying weapons. So as you guys know, there was this huge controversy when slaying weapons came out, because slaying weapons were essentially killing weapons that anyone could get, and it just boosted their might, completely outclassing all the old killing weapons. So killer weapons, as you can see, were completely relegated to the past. No one used them anymore because it wasn't worth it. Their might was just inferior to all these slaying weapons, and almost all the slaying weapons were completely locked off to 5-star units, to 5-star exclusive units, such as like Nephany has Slaying Lance, Slaying Axe is locked to Amelia, and Slaying Edge was locked to Saber. So you had to pull these 5-star exclusives, which were pretty hard to pull. I know a lot of people had trouble pulling for those units, because Nephany was locked behind Oscar, Amelia was just tricky to get for a lot of people, and then Saber, not a lot of people really got Saber, because he wasn't really worth pulling on, unless you're wailing and you're worth just sacrificing him off. So this is something I really like, is that they address the fact that killing weapons were completely just power crept out by the slaying weapons. So that's something I really appreciate, is them going back and saying, hey, we're not going to give everybody slaying weapons. We're going to give you the ability to change killing weapons into slaying weapons. So now you don't have to pull a 5-star and sack them off to another unit just to get this weapon. You can upgrade killer weapons, which makes it so much more accessible. And if you look in here, they have even more weapons that are getting upgraded. Assassin's Bow, Hammer, Heavy Spear, Armor Slayer, all the Wolf Tomes, Candlelight, which as we saw earlier. And all these weapons, again, were kind of underplayed. They're not very good compared to all the newer weapons, because they have low might and their effects aren't very good. So to see them getting an upgrade and possibly power and abilities is really awesome. And finally, we have this one right here, which is another aspect of the weapon refinery, is evolving legendary weapons. So as you know, Seliph came with Tyrfing early in the game, and everyone was like, oh, Tyrfing's horrible. Then, when Sigurd came out, they had Divine Tyrfing, which is just infinitely better, so everyone was making jokes like, oh, like, Seliph is trash, he didn't even get the real Tyrfing. And then, same with Brave Roy, when he came out, he got the Blazing Durandal, which completely power crept out the regular Durandal. So, this was really awesome that they decided to allow you to upgrade these weapons into their newer forms, which means characters like Lind can now upgrade to Dark Aura, which is an infinitely better weapon, which is absolutely awesome. And then Merrick, his Excalibur can now be Dark Excalibur, which is again absolutely awesome. And now Julia can basically be more powerful than Deirdre because she can get Divine Naga as well. So again, absolutely awesome. So many updates coming up in, I believe, November 27th. So something I'm very excited for is just all these different updates to weapons, and they're trying to bring back all these older units and make them more accessible and make them more useful than they ever had been, which is something I really appreciate, is them taking older characters and making them more useful and more applicable to Arena and other sort of PvP. Well, not really PvP, but Arena and Arena Assault makes them more useful because they can compete with these plus 10 merges, because they can get all these, because they can compete with the new weapons and skills and everything. And so, finally, we're going to get to the summoning event. So I can pull up here. Yep, 8%. So, with the new focus unit, with the new focus banner, pull it back here a second, if I can. Here we go. Alrighty. So with this legendary hero summoning event, we are getting a brand new unit, which is Fjorm. As you can see, if you looked at any of the Book 2 trailers, you can tell that Fjorm is the new unit, and you get her if you complete the first chapter of the new story, which is awesome, another free 5-star. But the great thing about this banner is there is no chance of a parry or a 5-star healer ruining your pity rate, because with this, instead of like our previous Hero Fests, instead of 5% focus, 3% other, with this one it's just a solid 8% to the focus units as 5 stars, which means all 5 stars you pull will be from this direct set here. And we have 12 different heroes. We have 3 of each color, because Fjorn is a blue spear user. So we have 3 from each color. All of them are incredibly high tier. And some of them, like the Bride and the Spring classes, we haven't seen since very early on in the game, which is really cool, because it was funny, because I believe it was Sage Master 15. He was making a comment about, oh, let's just take all the bridal banners and the spring banners, throw them all on one banner. Well, they kind of did that. They kind of picked out the characters that a lot of people liked and brought them back, and now they're able to be summoned again, which is really awesome. Also, Ira is there, but you don't have to worry about Eldigan ruining your summoning rate here. And then Ike, Celica, Deirdre, Jenny, all of these units are absolutely spectacular, and pulling any one of these as a 5-star unit is awesome. So definitely, if you guys haven't saved up your orbs, definitely save them up now, because they are definitely worth it. And then finally, we have, right here, if we pull ahead far enough, yep, we have Book 2 coming out. So they are upgrading these, they are continuing the story on with new character Fjorn and new enemy Suitor. So she's going to be an ice princess, he's going to be a fire king, they're going to clash. The story's not going to be very good. Spoiler alert, it's not going to be very good. But you do get her as a free new character, she's available on the new summon, and this just gives us more opportunity for orbs, and it's pretty cool. If we can pull ahead here in the video. So, we can pull ahead, we can actually get a look at her stats real quick.
But I'd love to snuggle with your pretty. I'm sure she and Sharena will be who are just starting out. Don't worry. You can jump into the story straight. Talking about a little bit ago? Guess what? It's Fjorm.
So yeah, she is a guaranteed unit that you can just summon. Okay, so yeah, we'll stop here. Back it up just a second. Don't know why it likes doing this. Alright, we'll just play it back again. Alrighty. So this is something, so we'll take a look at her stats when we get it to finally pull up. But she's a very interesting character.
That reminds me. I forgot to bring up something super important.
Let's keep bringing it back here.
That legendary hero I was talking about ability a little bit later on. That's all for. But I'd love.
You know what, this is just absolutely impossible. I don't know why they made this. Okay, so we'll just wait for the stats to come back up. But she is a very interesting unit because she is free to play, and she's just very interesting. She's got, can't say interesting enough, but it's really cool that they're giving us more free units like this, which is awesome, because they're like, if you want to summon for her, you can, but everyone gets a free one. Oh, missed it again. Alright, well, if you kind of call back, her stats were, with her legendary weapon, were 46 attack, 31 speed, 30 defense, and 34 res. So she's going to be a little bit slower, more tanky Sharena, which is absolutely awesome, because Sharina she's a little bit more on the offensive side, but her offense isn't really good enough to compete in this meta right now. So having a little bit more tanky version of her, which would be absolutely awesome. I mean, 34 res and 30 defense is nothing to scoff at. And she is a little bit less on the attack side, but she is.
There's so much going on
So,
that I'm losing track of it.
and even look at that animation. That is absolutely crazy and really cool. And she also has a special ability called Ice Mirror, which I'm pretty sure might negate magical attacks, which if it does would be absolutely awesome. And that's what a lot of people are speculating, is that it negates magical attacks. And that's something that we really haven't seen in the game before. We've had the damage reductions, but we haven't had straight up damage negation. So having a character like that in the game, well, would definitely make her much more of a tank. So those are just kind of my thoughts on the Feh Channel update. I definitely think it is the biggest update the game has had yet, and I think it is absolutely awesome. Everything about this update was just absolutely blew my mind. I didn't predict any of this. All my predictions were incredibly off. But again, it was kind of hard knowing what was going to come out, just kind of blindly talking about it. A lot of people did get some things right. But me personally, I was just kind of throwing ideas out there. Didn't really, nothing in mine really stuck. But I did say there was going to be a change to the story modes. Didn't know we were getting a whole new chapter, though. I thought they were going to change it up in, like, maybe presentation or something. But a whole new chapter is going to be cool. We're going to get some new characters. Maybe a better plot line. Probably not, but it's something to hope for. And if you guys enjoyed this video, I would appreciate maybe a like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Heroes Hunter, and thank you guys for joining in. You guys have a good one.